Welcome. I'm Joe Zaragoza from Code on Maintenance here in Tucson, Arizona. This video is designed to help you through the path of the A&P process. Some of you already started, but still don't understand the process. That's completely okay. I had those issues as well. And this video is going to help you go through that. So like I said, some of you are already on this journey or starting. So let's get to it. The first step. If you come in an experience, as most military guys do, or if you've been a repairman working sheet metal, or as I said, a repairman certificate, you will build the experience. So if you're trying to get your A&P and airframe and power plant ratings, you need to have a minimum of 30 months of hands-on experience. Now, if you're in the military, you're asking yourself, well, when does that time start? So the time starts when you get to that first station active duty status. Tech school does not count. Your school doesn't count if you're a repairman certificate, unless you have those graduation certificates. So just remember, in the military, you're active duty when you first show up to your station. So tech school doesn't count. If your repairman certificate is when you first got into that job, and that's where the time starts. Your training and stuff like that. You're on the job training and stuff like that, working under an A&P. And you need to have 18 to 30 months experience. Obviously, you got to be 18 years old to take the test, understand, read, write, speak English, and we can help you through all that stuff if you don't have that. So most of you do speak English or decent English, and that's fine. I can barely speak English myself, so I relate. And once you get the eligibility of 30 months of practical experience. You have to have a hands-on experience with the airframe side, whether you're changing tires, doing sheet metal work, moving and replacing and installing panels, doing all those little works and stuff like that, electrical stuff. You gotta have that hands-on experience and document it. So if you're in the military and you're a veteran, for example, a DD-214 helps. And if you're in the military, any training records you have to show that experience. So you gotta be eligible. So that means part of that, other than the 18-year-old, 30 months of experience, but within those 30 months, you have to have experience on engines and the airframe side of things. For the engines, if you've done engine runs, inspections, troubleshooting, servicing, maintaining, replacing and removing parts, you have to have that hands-on experience and document it. So show proof to the FAA that you do have that experience. They have to see the documentation. So that's going to be, no matter where you go, you got to show that proof and provide that proof as well. So once you get the experience and you're eligible, you can call up your FAA office. A specific name is called the Flight Standard District Office. So if you're in the military, you know about QA. If you're a civilian, you know about QC, quality control, and in the military, they call it quality assurance. Same stuff. Think of that office the same thing. They're the quality control of the FAA. So if you're in Arizona, there's one in Scottsdale, Arizona. And if you're you're looking at this and you're outside of the state of Arizona, go on Google, go to FSDO locator, and one of the first results should be an FAA website to FSDO, and it'll take you to a page, drop down menu with the state, go to the state that you're in or your home of record if you're outside, and click that and talk to them and talk to them about your situation. You're trying to look for the FAA 8610-2 form, FAA form 8610-2. Again, FAA form 8610-2. That's the form that you need. If you come with the experience, that's the form you need. And you just fill it out, the basic information, your address, don't put in your social, but you put in your name, and make sure your name is first name, middle name, and last name. And when you receive it from the inspector, make sure that's all correct. Your date of birth, I've seen it too many times. And we can go learn details of that, but that's not a training for that. But once you get that form, you're authorized to take the test. That's why that form is super important. Every knowledge exam, computer knowledge exam, you have to have this form, ID, proof of address, and get it presented. So that form is super important everywhere you go when you take the exam. So When you talk to the FAA, tell them I'm calling inquiring about obtaining my FAA Form 8610-2. Who do I speak to? And sometimes that person on the phone can help you, set you an appointment, or direct you to somebody who can help you, because maybe that person is not the decision maker, for example, and they'll send you to an inspector, and you will have contact via email, phone call, whatever it is. And every inspector is different. They require different things. They are comfortable with certain stuff and not comfortable with certain stuff. So whatever they need from you to provide proof of practical experience, provide it. It could be training records, it could be your commander signing off some paperwork, it could be your supervisor signing off certain paperwork. So they're all different. There is minimum standards, but some inspectors want a little more. They want, because they're signing you off. So you got to understand that they're signing you off to be authorized to be an A&P. And so there's that. You might be frustrated, a couple of them, if you don't feel that inspector is being unfair, talk to another one, maybe a different state, tell them the situation. And sometimes they do help you. So, like I said, this is a condensed framework. So I'm going to hit the major points, bypass all the sub-chapters or FAA regulations. This is just going to be a condensed framework. Okay. So first, you got to be eligible. Second, you have to have the FAA form or a graduation certificate. If you went to a say 18 to 24 month program, have that. And if you're in the military and you went through the DoD's A&P program, that certificate of eligibility certificate it's also your authorization from the FAA that you can take exams. But still fill out the FAA Form 8610-2 because the DME, the designated mechanic examiner, still needs it. It doesn't have to be signed off or anything like that, but you still need those forms. Okay, next is once you do the interview, sometimes they want an interview over the phone, video call like this, or in person. It just depends who that person is, how the office rules are. And so I can't speak for all of them, how they want it, but they want some type of interview, discussion, conversation about your experience. So just be prepared for that. And once you get that form, then you're authorized to go test. So there's different methods. You can do it yourself. There's also self-study. There's books out there that have great resources, and we can help you with that as well. And if you want to do that route, if you're in the military, sometimes your education office is available, have that programs available to test for free for the military guys. And if you're civilian, there's a couple options here in Tucson. You got one up Campbell Road. You have one at Ryan Field, and you have one near on the Tucson Airport at Tucson Aviation. So there's some of your options there, and you just have to schedule it. And currently right now, PSI is the only company that administers the FAA exam. Whether it's free or paid for, they are the sole platform to administer the FAA exams. So there's that. You have to register on IACRA, then to PSI, then it has to be that order because you need information from IACRA, which is the FAA's online registration. As you know, everything's going online. FAA is doing the same thing. So you got to register online with your information from your FAA form. And then once you get that, you'll get a number. It's called an FTN, FAA tracking number, which you'll need when you register for your PSI. And then you can go on there and put your zip code, schedule exams, and pick the one that's near you. But if you're here in Tucson, Arizona, please pick Tucson Aviation. Gotcha. All right. Let's see what else. I have a little note card to make sure that I stay on track and I make sure I cover everything. So we understand that your time is valuable. And like I said, there's a couple of options. Do it yourself. You can go to a prep school. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks. And it just depends how far in your journey you are in. And there's also 2-year course if you want to know everything about basic knowledge of aircraft maintenance. There's that. And here at Code One, we do hybrids, we do night classes, we can do hands-on only course that you need. And for this particular program, we can do it all and we can help you out. We're very flexible. Night class, weekend type of deal, we can do that. And we also have an online course where you can do it yourself, but you can get the gist of the theory operations of the different sections. And then have a weekend hands-on course, for example, so you can get just the hands-on stuff. Now, with that, I know there's programs out there that have months long, but if you're experienced, and you've been working at least 3 years, you already know how to follow instructions. Be aware of safety hazards, to do this or don't do that. So you already come with that. And some programs, they'll take you through the whole gauntlet, like if you're brand new. And what we try to do here, we try to be the leading school for experienced mechanics, because you guys come with knowledge, you come with experience, and that's what's valuable on the outside. You already know that. Reading a book is not going to make you the best mechanic, but and it's the same thing as an A&P. I believe solely have an advocate for being experienced is the best teacher, maybe even the only teacher. So when you're going towards your A&P, you just need to bridge the gap between your experience and your skills and your knowledge and what the FAA wants. So we help you bridge that gap, all right? You're already successful now. You already have the experience. You just need to pass these exams. And we'll give you the materials, the knowledge online to be convenient for you. And then we also provide the study guides, the videos, coaching, whatever, how you want, talk to us and see what works best, what is the best fit for you. So if you're watching this right now, please, and you have questions, reach out to us and we'll definitely help you. So let's see, why is the A&P super important? If you're watching this and just recently, A&P is super important and you're in high demand. You get calls from all over the place that they're looking for military mechanics, they're looking for people with A&Ps, and they want to create pipelines. So you're in high demand and it's super valuable. We know people here in Tucson who come from other countries and they're trying to get their citizenships, they're trying to get residence, and they want to bring their families over here. And that's awesome. We also have military guys who are transitioning out. They want to continue to maintain the same lifestyle or better and provide food on the table for their families. So we're here to make those dreams possible, those goals possible. And sometimes you're fed up with a certain company or the organization or the military and you want to change something new. And the A&P opens up those opportunities. That's my goal. That's what makes me happy. Recently, a story about how a person from Chile is trying to bring his family, or somebody from Mexico is trying to get his citizenship. Once he gets an A&P, that would help him make those documents and live the great life, as an American or living in America. And I'm all about that, to help people accomplish those dreams. If you're in the military, like I was 14 years, I wanted to have plenty of options to provide great, same lifestyle or better, and work towards my dream job working at Lockheed. And so I want to help people like that was in my situation, or help others, provide a better life for their family. And I love that. I love this mission. So obviously, once you get GMP, opportunities open up, promotions happen, higher pays. You can get into the top of the percentiles of A&P mechanics. I was doing a podcast and, pay attention to our YouTube, but it talks about recently, once you get into average or above average, you get into the $95,000, $100,000 range. And that's awesome. That's great living. That's a great, pay for mechanics. So, and plus you're in higher demand, it's probably only going to go up. And, if you're in the military, there's only a small percentage of A&Ps out there being issued. So we're trying to balance that, level that off, grow the awareness, grow the resources available out there and the opportunities, and show that there's tons of opportunities. You don't have to always do the contracting side of things. All right. Amazon, UPS, FedEx, they're all looking for new aircraft mechanics. They're building hubs out in Louisville. They're buying new aircraft and they need more mechanics. So that's a real issue. With COVID, made things worse, and tons of companies like Republic Airways are paying people A&Ps. If you want to, work with them, your city, your county are providing funds for the veterans, for example, or not even just veterans, but just if you're unemployed and you're looking to get into aviation, they'll have funds for that. And especially that you already have experience, they'll have funds for that too, because aviation is in high demand and they're trying to fill that gap. And we're also trying to partner up with the county, the city, the state, the feds, employers and stuff like that to be a solution for the industry as well. And I love aviation. I'm more towards the business jet side of things, the military aircraft side of things. It's just something I love. And, I always want to be a solution in our community. And, you don't have to have the A&P. You can still have a decent life life, or even a great, life without it. But opportunities open up if you get tired, or things change, right? So industry changes, the supervision changes. People leave and go, and they leave, come in, leave and go, and that can change the culture of what you were so used to for 10, 15 years. So an A&P can definitely help you look for another opportunity. Or you can stay home, but you don't need it, but it's definitely helpful, and it helps you get promoted up the ranks. Let's see. So again, number one, get your forms, talk to your, first, make sure you're eligible, make sure that you get that form and you're authorized to test. There's different paths that you can get your A&P, but no matter what path you take, you have to go to the designated mechanic examiner. And, but before that, and I'm sorry to kind of like go back and forth, but the first thing you got to knock out is 3 knowledge exams done on a computer. And it has to be done on person. There's no online stuff. Do it from your home without your shorts and stuff like that. You have to do it in person. So you have to do the general. No matter what rating you get, you have to do the general. So you have to do the general. 60 question test. Usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And then you have your airframe test. 100 question test takes about an hour to about 2 hours to be done. And last is the power plant section. A lot of people have problems with this one, and it's definitely the toughest one. And there's different ways you can do it. There's the prep words, like $10 online. You can knock those out. Let's see what else. There's different companies that have books. I don't know too many companies that have apps, but those are the 2 big ways to knock those out. Books and the app. ASA Prepware is called the app. If you have Android, it's about $15. 3 different apps. So make sure you pay attention to that. There's general, airframe, and power plant. And if you have iPhone, they only have one app that's $10 cheaper. So, but depending on what phone you have, just be aware of that. And you can, knock those out. And then there's the orals and practical section. So after you're done with your written, you have to accomplish this. And the DME, like as I mentioned, is the gatekeeper. So you have to verbally say the correct answers, and the best material for that is the Jepson books. We have our own books, similar, but it's a little different. And then you have to do the practical side of things. That's kind of hard. There's a practical task standard that the FAA provides, but honestly, there's a good chunk of core tasks they want you to learn. And a lot of things you can figure out on your own. You can read the instructions. It's an open book test. And what we do here at Code One, we teach you those common core tasks. And we can knock that out in 2 days. And so you don't need to do a month, 2 months, or a whole 2 years to get it done. We can knock it out on a weekend if that fits your schedule, and get the common core task that's a little hard to just read from a manual, a little tough, and get that hands-on experience to go from bending tubes, flares, to doing engine run, impression checks, and things like that. So something to be aware, and we can offer that at a very low price and and minimal time for you, because I was an aircraft mechanic. I know how taxing can be on your body, to do 12, 14 hours and then go to school right afterwards. Like, doesn't make sense. So I'm here because I understand, because I used to live that life, and this took 2-3 years to formulate, to make it standardized and deliver it with a high success rate. With the practical stuff, we haven't failed anybody. None of our students has failed a practical test in the last nearly 2 years. So we got a good rate, and we've tested it from Florida to Vegas to Langley, Virginia to California, and nobody's failed on the practical side of things. So we come with some more credibility. And if you know somebody that would benefit from this, share it with them, because not everybody can come to a 2-week course. And we understand that, and we're trying to be flexible and provide classes for the night classes, if that fits for you, hands-on stuff, if that's all you need. Because a lot of the stuff you can do from home. And we're trying to provide services to ensure that you're successful in the A&P program, because I deeply and our team deeply knows how important an A&P can be and how much it can change in your aviation career. So that's our passion, is for you to succeed. Right now you're non-certificated, but you can have success tomorrow or as soon as possible, right? And if you have any questions about this, you want to go in detail about anything, go to my website, code1mx.com. That's CODE, the numeral 1, MX codeonmaintenance.com. Schedule an appointment with me. You can also email me at Z as in Zulu at code1mx.com. Send me an email. I prefer to talk to people so we can sort out details because there's so many options now that we provide, and I want to make sure that I can provide the most value to you and see which one fits the best. And I just want to make sure that you get this accomplished to fit your lifestyle as well. And now we got more instructors. We can do nights, days, weekends, stuff like that. So let's get on the phone. Let's discuss the best plan of action. Even if you don't go with us, we can recommend other places. We can also help you through your process as well. Again, let's take that 15-minute little conversation and see if you would be a good fit. All right. Again, I am Joe Zaragoza, founder of Code on Maintenance. We're located here in Tucson, Arizona. And again, please don't hesitate to ask me questions. Thank you.